All right, folks, let's take a live look outside. I'm going to get you ready for what could be a bit of a complicated weekend with heat, sun, smoke, and folks, record temperatures. All of your forecasts coming right up.
Plus, a local nonprofit steps in to help the victims after multiple Kennewick massage parlors were allegedly involved in sex trafficking. And Selah Middle School faced 2 threats of violence in the same week, and local police are determined to be ready should the worst happen. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Jason Valentine. It's 6 o'clock on this Friday morning. Welcome to the weekend, Jill.
Yes.
I'd like to welcome you to the weekend. And we got a lot going on.
We do.
We knew we had sun and heat on the way, but a little bit of a wild card is coming in from your home area.
From Canada.
From Canada,
Yes.
Exactly. Let's take a live look outside, and we do have haze throughout all of our areas, and that is going to continue. And that, I call it the wild card because depending on how thick the smoke is for our sunshine, it could decrease our temperatures by just a bit. Air quality right now, Ellensburg was getting a break, but they have moved into the moderate zone for air quality. Most of our areas are in that as we're moving along in the morning hours. So if you are susceptible to air quality issues, please do take precautions. Now we're just at that border between good and moderate, but still moderate nonetheless. We do expect record highs today, though, for Yakima, mid-90s with plenty of sunshine, mid-90s as well for the Tri-Cities, record-breaking there, and right around a record for Walla Walla. But we are looking at, again, that chance that smoke could blunt our sunshine, so again, blunting our heat by a couple of degrees, and that could be the case for your Saturday as well. Big cool down coming Sunday with winds, maybe some showers. Folks, a lot going on. I'll get you and your family prepared for your weekend. My first alert weather forecast, it's coming up. But for right now, let's send it back to Jill.
Police in Nampa, which is just west of Boise, say 2-year-old Rudy Reyes was taken by his father, Rodolfo Reyes, who does not have custody, just before 11 yesterday morning. Police say the older Reyes is known to carry a pistol. They may be in a gray Honda Civic with the Idaho license plate 019Y0R. Investigators say they may be headed towards Pendleton. If you have any information, call 911 right away. You can also call the Nampa Police Department, and we have the information to do that, plus more pictures of these two on our website, yaktrinews.com. It is the 3rd massage parlor raid since March. Wednesday, 6 in Kennewick were searched and shut down. KPD says 4 of the businesses had women who were being trafficked. This morning, we hear from Mirror Ministries, who says the demand for these illicit businesses has to end.
She saw the underwear in the basket and she got super excited and she picked it up and she asked if she could have it, and we told her yes, and she started crying. She says the whole package. A lot of times girls that are being used in this way aren't allowed underwear because it's just superfluous and gets in the way. So it's also a dignity thing, right? Takes that dignity away.
A simple garment and a way out. Tricia McFarland and her team with Mirror Ministries was on the scene to help victims of trafficking.
We are simply here for victim services. Law enforcement just likes to have the that victim support there right away. Their job is in this lane, so they bring us in for that other lane.
Out of the 6 massage parlors, Kennewick police say 4 were found to have been selling sexual services. McFarland says it's shocking, but not uncommon.
The Tri-Cities is an awesome community, but we're a community full of humans, and everywhere around the world there's this issue of those who are vulnerable and those who are going to exploit the vulnerable.
Investigators nor Tricia could share much about the victims, but we do know out of 9 women, 4 are getting help from Mirror Ministries. McFarland says oftentimes victims of trafficking are tricked and then become trapped.
Very often they're promised things that aren't what they appeared to be when they were promised. Documents are taken from them, threats are made, or they're just shamed into a point where they feel like that's the only option that they have.
McFarland says they're able to get these women into safe homes. She's already heard from a couple of the victims.
They just texted back to our hotline and said, "Thank you so much. You made me feel loved. You made me feel safe. Nobody's ever done that before."
Tricia hopes more people will sound the alarm about illegal activities like this, helping to end the demand for sex trafficking.
Consensual sex would not include money. Consensual sex, if somebody's truly consenting, would not include a commercial exchange. So if you see something, say something. You may be that one person who spoke up and made made a difference for them.
That was Madeline Hagan reporting. KPD said no arrests have been made yet in this investigation. Cap KVUE asked if there's any safeguards in place to ensure these business owners can't open up another massage parlor. KPD says the city is looking at strengthening this business license application process. The motorcyclist who was hurt in a crash in Richland Wednesday did not have a license to drive a motorcycle and was at fault for the crash, according to authorities. Richland police say the motorcyclist was going eastbound on Keene Road at a high rate of speed and tried to pass vehicles that were stopped at Westcliff Boulevard using the bicycle lane. Police say a motorist who was attempting to turn left on Green was then hit by the motorcyclist who ran the red light. The condition of the motorcyclist is not yet known. Walla Walla is making history. Its school district becomes one of the first in Eastern Washington to get an electric bus. The district already has the first bus, with 2 others set to arrive over the summer. According to the Walla Walla School District, the electric school bus can travel up to 300 miles on a single charge in ideal driving conditions. It has fewer moving parts, which the district says means less maintenance. Money to purchase the buses comes from a Department of Ecology grant, which also paid for charging stations. The public can get a closer look at the bus at a ribbon-cutting ceremony Tuesday, May 30th at 10 at the Southeast Washington Transportation Cooperative in Walla Walla. The first bus will begin serving routes later this month. Police have responded in full force to 2 separate school shooting threats at Sela Middle School this week. Since both were found not to be credible, some have said the large response went to waste. But Cap KVUE's Emily Goodell talked to police and parents who say that's not the case.
I make it very clear to my guys, we will always respond as no matter what, as if it was an active shooter, as if people were in peril.
Sela Police Chief Dan Crispin says most of the time the threat isn't real, but it's never a waste of resources.
Yes, I understand that it's inconvenient. Yes, I understand that parents were off to work or other obligations, but the flip side to that is their kids are home tonight and they're safe and they haven't been injured or traumatized by an in-school shooting. So we're okay with that.
Because each threat tests their system, and so far it's working.
In both of these cases, we identified those responsible for the threats very rapidly. Within an hour, their parents notified and in a room, and we were dealing with it.
And figuring out ways to improve if it happens again.
Like today, we realized that a lot of our resources were at one school, so we need to redistribute our resources. Every time that we do this, we see some little things that we can change and do better with in the future.
But for every threat, there are hundreds of parents who are worrying about their kids and wondering if today is the day that their child's life is in danger for real.
Parents like Leslie Corbin, who was called Monday to pick up her daughter after Sela Middle School canceled classes due to a shooting threat.
It kind of hits you when you're sitting there waiting and watching them walk out of the school with all the police around and everything, just how kind of serious it is. And it was pretty nerve-wracking.
She says communication from the school helped.
A lot of times we just have to hang tight and know that they're doing their best to handle the situation and that they'll keep us posted as they can.
She wishes her daughter could have contacted her at school, but her phone was locked away.
And I know it's a distraction and I know that it can cause a lot of problems, but in a situation like that, I wish that they would, if they brought their phone to class to contact their parents, let us know that they're okay. I think that would be helpful.
Other community members have their own ideas about what they'd like to see happen in these situations.
There's a lot of opinions out there on Facebook, but are they going to the school board and, talking about it there, where that's where it'll really make a difference.
Because it's likely not the last time it'll happen.
It's happening everywhere. The difference is how you handle it as a community. It makes a big difference.
In Sela, Emily Goodell, Cap KVUE, Local News.
Police say they're working on building a case against the student involved and will be forwarding that information to a prosecutor who will decide whether to file charges. Jason Valentine returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Folks, we're seeing some sunshine. We're also seeing some haze, possibly some record-breaking temperatures. I'll get you ready for your Friday and your weekend coming up in my First Alert weather forecast.
Plus, while discussions about mental health have become more prevalent in recent years, some may still suffer from mental health in silence rather than get help.
It's a showcase event at Broadmoor RV Superstore in Pasco. Join us May 19th through the 21st for the Spring Showcase featuring Forest River. The first 50 people each day will be entered for a chance to win special giveaways. How about a Salem 169 RSK MSRP $40,000 plus, now just $24,990. Save over $18,000 on a 23 Vibe, now just $37,990. Don't miss the Spring Showcase only at Broadmoor RV Superstore in Pasco.
We make camping fun.
It's time. Time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away, to the place that's not so far away. Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Find countless ways to play and stay in CDA at visitcda.org.
Hi, I'm Gino from Italstone. We just received a new container of quartz Britannica Gold made in the USA. Visit at Italstone today to see, touch, and choose from a huge inventory in stock. At Italstone, we measure, fabricate, and install your kitchen and bath countertops in 5 to 7 days. No one can beat Italstone prices, apples to apples. Here at Italstone, we are with you every step of the way.
What do you do when your employee gets hurt on the job? Here's a story about Jay. He got hurt at work and couldn't perform his normal duties. That's rough, but there's good news. You see, Jay works for TISA, and TISA wants to do right by her employee. She knows all about L&I's Stay at Work program, so TISA gets to keep a valuable employee like Jay on the payroll doing a light-duty job while he heals. And TISA gets reimbursed half of Jay's wages, up to $10,000. Now, that's what we call a win-win. Learn more at lni.wa.gov/stay at work.
Live better and love your home with the unique items and expert interior design you'll find only at Spencer Carlson. Our team of designers has given life to new construction and new life to remodeling projects for 30 years. For a limited time, enjoy one of the best promotional opportunities of the year at the Spencer Carlson Memorial Day Sale Event, May 18th through the 31st. Shop and save on fresh, innovative furnishings from Lexington. Spencer Carlson, unsurpassed furniture and design for life.
Live with Kelly and Mark today at 9 on Cap KView.
Welcome back, everyone. It's 6:12 on this Friday morning. Well, in recent years, mental health awareness has grown drastically. Still, many men experiencing mental illness continue to suffer in silence. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and ABC's Ika Jachi dives into the relationship men have with their mental health and the social stigma preventing many from seeking professional help.
According to the CDC, mental illness is among the most common health conditions in the United States, and it impacts women and men. The CDC data shows that males make up 50% of the U.S. population, but 80% of suicides.
I want to give men the freedom to be themselves.
Licensed mental health counselor Mike Evers says he's noticed some men are apprehensive to seek out a mental health professional when they need it.
A lot of men feel like they just kind of need to solve their issues alone, figure it out themselves.
Evers says social stigmas relating to masculinity contribute to men's hesitancy.
This vulnerability is kind of viewed as not masculine, not being a man, and to have deep emotions seems to not coincide in our societal views.
He believes these stigmas can be traced back to messages taught to boys in their early childhood years.
Those messages we can get, oh, you're too sensitive, or don't be a baby, stop crying, or get over it. If any guy played sports, you may have heard, just push through it, no pain, no gain. But then when we apply messages like that in other areas of life where they don't work, then we have that stigma of, I need to just push through it, I need to solve this by myself.
Instead, Evers suggests messages of emotional reassurance be taught to boys when they're young.
I think one of the best things that we can do for little boys is to normalize what they're feeling. For them to hear, I get scared too. I sometimes feel hurt when I don't get invited to parties. And to open that conversation.
This way, boys can build positive mental health practices to use as they get older.
To see vulnerability as a strength, as something that requires courage and bravery, and not a sign of weakness.
Ika Jachi, ABC News, Los Angeles.
If you are experiencing a mental health crisis, you can call or text 988 to reach out to a trained counselor 24/7. Coming up, our Riley Fitzgerald joins us to tell us why you might want to wait a bit before jumping into the Columbia to cool down this weekend. And it is going to be hot, it is going to be hazy, it is going to be sunny. Your first alert weather forecast for your Friday and getting you ready for your weekend is coming up next. Stick with us. You're watching Good Morning Northwest. Hi there, Jason Valentine here for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag as we celebrate America together.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
Cut your ties to the fuel pump with an all-electric vehicle from Overturf Kia. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. Lease the 2023 all-electric Kia EV6 Wind with all-wheel drive for just $579 per month or purchase for $53,849. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Tonight, 6 all-time greats.
What is grit?
Who's Caro?
What is Mean Girls?
One incredible tournament. Who will be crowned the first ever Jeopardy Masters champion?
Bring it.
Bring it.
Don't bring it.
Jeopardy Masters continues tonight on ABC.
At the Blue Mountain Station in Dayton, Washington, we invest in community. Our partners include Sweet Cheeks Bake Shop, Cedar Rain Spirits, Onyx Farms, Ray's Roast, Red Band Cellars, Barden Bead Meadery, and the Co-op and Commercial Kitchen. We invite you to explore Dayton today.
This is one of the most powerful stories I have ever covered. The unthinkable. Sadly, after tragedies like this, the world moves on. Well, not this time.
Oh my God.
This is one special you will never forget.
Next live, The Little Mermaid's Daveed Diggs. She got legs. And Sunday. Don't miss the American Idol grand finale.
Today at 9 on Cap KView.
Portion of Cap KView sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. Now, Cap KView First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. Hope you have a great weekend planned. And yes, we do have haze out in the distance. A little bit more haze for Mid-Columbia, Blues than in the Yakima Valley, but still we have plenty of haze there as well. Just the more west you go, the less we're going to be seeing. So record heat today, very possible, but smoke is hurting our air quality. It also could affect our highs. It just depends on how thick the smoke gets. Cool down on Sunday and into our next work week. So let's get to that air quality. If you are susceptible to air quality issues, we are in the moderate air quality zone as smoke is coming in from those fires up north in Canada. Now, it is not as bad as the air quality is in Montana, where they're looking at sensitive, unhealthy for sensitive groups, even up to the unhealthy range at times. So we're seeing just moderate air quality, but do be careful if you are susceptible to those issues. Hopefully we'll see a little bit better air quality as we head into our weekend with winds coming in from the southwest. So our temperatures right now, we are looking at lower 60s, upper 50s for most of our areas, just a bit cooler in Ellensburg, but this is the warmest morning we've had all of this week, and we could see some record highs today. So forecasted, we are looking to break records, Tri-Cities, Yakima, Walla Walla, possibly Pendleton or right at it. We are a little bit cooler though for Ellensburg, but it all depends on the wild card, which is the smoke, which could be cooling down our temperatures. Just depends on how thick that smoke gets. It could blunt the sunshine. We have seen that haze continue, so it could be a couple degrees cooler than expected. As we move into our weekend, we're going to be in the mid to upper 90s for your Saturday. Then that cool down comes, especially as we get to Monday in our next work week, where we're going to be right around our average for this time of year, which is in the 70s for all of our cities. So as we move into our morning hours, we are free and clear from precipitation, and it does look like our next precipitation will be coming very late tomorrow night. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We do have some shower activity in the Cascades and in the Blue Mountain region. A little bit of that could bleed into Ellensburg and Yakima, but as we move into Saturday late night, we do have a little bit of shower activity from the south, and it could persist into our very late hours or early hours, depending on how you look at it, for Sunday, and then moving into a little bit of cloud coverage for our Sunday as we see that cool down. But that does make sense. When we see a big shift in temperatures, we see things cool down. Wind speeds, we are looking at light winds, a little bit of wind kicking up from the south in Toppenish, but we remain light tomorrow, and then 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds Sunday into Monday, a little bit less for the rest of our work week. Our highs today could see some records, mid to lower 90s, upper 80s for Ellensburg. The rest of our areas, though, mid to lower 90s for the Mid-Columbia, warmest day of the week, and in the Blue Mountain region. So our 7-day forecast, and as we head into our weekend and our next work week, we are looking against quick storms possible Saturday into Sunday. Other than that, we're seeing plenty of sunshine as we head into our next work week. Overnight lows all over the place for Yakima, mid-90s for the next 2 days. In the Tri-Cities area, mid-90s as well, and then those cooler temperatures next week. So folks, we have heat, we have warmth, and we do have that smoke. So make sure you have some sunscreen on. And again, if you're susceptible to air quality issues, do take care. And also, Jill, we're talking about what if you plan on cooling off if you go in the river, right?
That's right, Jason. Well, you might be considering getting out on the water this weekend. There are some warnings before you step into a river. Cap KVU's Riley Fitzgerald joins us live from the Columbia River. Riley, for people who are looking to take a dive, what should they know about the waterways?
Well, good morning. I'm experiencing a beautiful day out on the Columbia River right now, but I am not going to be jumping in the river anytime soon. Safety officials say not only is the water moving very fast and sitting very high, but the water is still very cold despite our warm temperatures. They say it's not going to be heating up for a couple more weeks.
So until probably the end of June, which is 6 weeks from now, you're not going to see really warm water compared with the warm temperatures. So don't be fooled with the warm weather thinking the water's going to be great.
Scott Rapelius with the Columbia Basin Dive Rescue says snow is melting in the mountains, which is slowly making its way over here. Not only is the water cold, but it's also moving quicker than it usually would.
If you see the water flow behind me, you can see right now the water is flowing at about 7,000 to 10,000 cubic feet per second. Normally this time of year, it's around 6,000 to 7,000, so we are flowing quite fast. You can also notice how high the river is right now.
Benton County Fire District 2 Lieutenant Jack Derderian says the water is cold, high, and fast. It may feel great on a hot day, but if you're planning to hop right in, especially keep an eye on any kids.
Always make sure you're swimming with somebody or somebody that's keeping an eye on you. And if you have kids, keep it really close eye on kids.
Have somebody watching the water, somebody designated. Mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, whatever, because a lot of times somebody thinks everybody else is watching and nobody's watching, and that's when the accident happens. So designate somebody.
They also say that while the Columbia River is facing bad conditions for recreating, the Yakima River is even worse.
The Yakima is a little dangerous as far as debris right now, so it's fun to float on it when it's swift like this, but just be well aware of things sticking out of the water or floating down with you in the water.
If you do decide to hit the water, make sure it's safe and it's fun.
If the river is flowing pretty fast, pretty high, kind of dirty, but it is Memorial Day coming up. I know there'll be a lot of people around the water, so please enjoy yourselves, have a great time. We're going to have some fantastic weather coming up.
Whether you're on the water or in the water, stay safe, wear a life jacket, and don't forget to have some fun. Live in Richland with Good Morning Northwest, I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Riley. And when we return on Good Morning Northwest, 5 Latina artists are working to break down barriers for artists of color.
There's no other word quite like home. Not house, not residence, not dwelling. Because it's more than any specific place. It could be in the team spirit that keeps your heart pounding the whole drive over the mountains. It could be in the friendships that make you do one more lap around the park. or make you able to laugh at yourself. It's a feeling, a belonging, and that's really different for everyone. So while we can't define what home is to you, what we can do is help you get there.
Find your way home today in a new Mazda from McCurley Mazda and online at McCurleyMazda.com.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Get 2.9% APR for 36 months plus $1,500 purchase allowance on an XT5 and XT6 when you finance through Cadillac Financial.
Situated in the heart of Washington wine country, the Prosser House by John Gray is a place you won't want to miss. John's international culinary training brings amazing cuisine to the table. Treat yourself and someone special to a meal you won't soon forget. We'll see you at the Prosser House.
E.T. followed by Extra tonight at 7 on Cap KVU.
5 Yakima artists are preparing to speak at the Artists of Color Expo and Symposium in Seattle this weekend. They plan to present a panel discussion on the barriers faced by Latina artists in the art world. I had the chance to see a preview of their presentation and spoke to the artists about how they have become a support system for one another.
I'm so thankful for everyone who came.
It's a presentation that is deeply personal to these 5 artists. The story of how they became Latina artists in Eastern Washington and the challenges they've faced along the way.
It's a very intimate thing to talk about, and it feels vulnerable to talk about all these things. But I think it's very important.
They'll be bringing their presentation to the Artists of Color Expo and Symposium in Seattle on May 20th. But first, they're holding a trial run with members of their own community in Yakima.
We really wanted to make sure that we got our points across really well, and that we got a chance to actually do it a few times before doing it in the big city.
Exploring topics such as what makes an art piece Latina.
I want my work to be labeled Latina because the creator is. And whatever I create represents me and all of me, even when it's not apparent.
And how to tackle the feeling of being an imposter.
It's not that I don't deserve good things, it's just I feel like they're not for me. But they are because I do the work.
I'm like, yeah, I can get my master's, I can do this, but then my imposter syndrome comes from me not being Mexican enough to represent my community.
Rosie Saldana didn't grow up with Mexican traditions and doesn't speak Spanish, but she uses art as a way to connect to her culture.
So you'll see like a lot of Day of the Dead imagery in my work. You'll see maybe different like garments, but then also people. The people in my artwork are of color, are women. So I'm just trying to learn more through my art, but also like just gain a better respect for it because I've never had that growing up.
These artists simply want the same opportunities as others, and they're working to support each other in that goal.
I think that's a really big characteristic about the Latina community, because if we see someone succeed in our community, we're succeeding.
They hope this conversation will encourage others to support artists of color with kindness, funding, and by attending their art shows. If you would like to see more of the artwork by these 5 artists, we have their social media information on our website, yaktrynews.com. Coming up, a massive fire at a construction site in North Carolina leaves at least one person dead.
When you get Spectrum One, you get fast, reliable internet for $49.99. I mean, I could stop right there, but I won't because, surprise, you find out you're also getting free advanced Wi-Fi with Security Shield, which makes it an even better deal. Until another surprise. You find out you're also getting a free line of unlimited mobile with 5G. Amazing! Surprise again, you also get Speed Boost, which makes your Spectrum mobile speeds even faster when you're connected to Wi-Fi. Surprise, it's me. That's a lot of surprises. I should just popped out of that. Point is, with Spectrum One, you're gonna be very surprised by all the free stuff you get. Or you would be if I hadn't already just told you. But still, when you get in there, could you act surprised? Well, something for the people in the store. Get Spectrum One, internet for just $49.99, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and a free line of unlimited mobile. Visit spectrum.com/surprise, a Spectrum store, or call 844-7-SURPRISE today.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
The Silver Jubilee 25th Anniversary Celebration continues at Legends Casino Hotel in May, with over $225,000 in cash and prizes being given away. We've got one Mercedes left, so use your players card to earn entries for cash drawings on Thursdays and a Mercedes GLE on May 25th. Play your favorite slots for a chance at one of 25 cash prizes, totaling over $200,000 on May 31st. It's an anniversary celebration like no other, only at Legends Casino Hotel, within winning distance.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right, all year round. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves!
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
A fire at a construction site in North Carolina tears through a 7-story building and claims the life of at least one construction worker. And Montana has become the first state in the nation to enact a widespread ban of popular video sharing app TikTok.
And folks, we have heat, sunshine, and hampered air quality to talk about as we head into our weekend. I'll get you prepared in my first alert weather forecast.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Jason Valentine. Welcome to Friday. We're here. We're here at the weekend.
We're here,
Jill.
yes. What else is here is some smoke, though, unfortunately.
Some smoke, and again, we saw it come into our area Wednesday. It was very elevated, but you could see the sun was a little bit hampered by it, and we started to see some moderate air quality start to creep into our areas, and more of it today. Let's take a look outside, and beautiful morning. We have a little bit of a friend in our upper left-hand corner there. Not sure what that is, but as we move along in our day, we do expect to see that haze continuing, and that is going to be the wild card for our day. So our air quality right now, as we're moving on in the morning hours, Ellensburg has been oscillating between, they're just at the edge of good to moderate. The rest of our areas are in that moderate zone. So if you do suffer from air quality issues, do take precautions. We're hoping the smoke moves on as we move into the weekend, as we see some winds coming from the southwest, but we could be seeing it continuing since it's so high up in the air. So Yakima, you're right in those mid-90s. Could see record highs today, but as with that smoke, the wild card is we could see it start to decrease our temperatures, blunting the sunshine with its effect. So we're keeping a close eye on that. A lot going on. We have cooler temperatures coming Sunday into our next work week. I'll get you prepared for all of that in my First Alert weather forecast. It's coming up, but for right now, let's send it back to Jill.
Tragedy unfolding in North Carolina, where a sprawling construction site caught fire, trapping a crane operator and forcing workers to run for their lives. Dramatic video shows the huge flames and portions of the building collapsing. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
Overnight, firefighters in North Carolina scouring the charred remnants of this construction site, searching for victims after a deadly fire tore through the 7-story building.
I saw the building in flames and coming down, so I mean, it's scary.
The fire breaking out yesterday when a machine on the second floor ignited.
It collapsed.
Workers tried to contain the flames, but the partially completed apartment complex was quickly engulfed, forcing nearly 100 workers to run for safety.
They start getting out. They start screaming, get out, because the building's on fire.
The inferno moving so quickly, this crane operator did not have time to escape. The man trapped high above the building for nearly 2 hours before he was finally rescued.
When you're up 6 floors above a burning building, you're right in the middle of the chaos, and you're seeing helicopters fly over and nobody's coming to rescue you. I'm sure his life probably literally flashed before his eyes. What's going to happen to me?
Firefighters pulled more than a dozen people from the building, but at least one construction worker remained unaccounted for overnight. And the family of 30-year-old DeMonte Sherrill, a construction worker at the site, says his company called them to inform them that he did not survive. Sherrill's mother watching his final moments play out on Facebook Live.
I was hoping, but just from the live and the way the room filled up with smoke, I didn't see it being any hope. A loving father, caring person, and he just wanted to be with his children.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
TikTok users in Montana have now sued to block the nation's first statewide ban of the app. Montana's ban, set to take effect next year, says users would not be punished. The law would fine TikTok or entity like app stores $10,000 per day for each time it allows someone to access the app. There are still questions around how this would be enforced.
There is some irony that such a ban would require the creation of technology that is similar to oppressive technology that China has pioneered.
It hurts just because it's like one of the 3 main platforms that I've built a community on. It's the biggest one I've built a community on. But as a content creator, you kind of always have to adapt.
The big concern for opponents is that data from TikTok might be shared with China's government. TikTok officials say all of the data from American users is stored in the United States and is not connected to China. Jason Valentine returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Folks, can't wait to get you ready for your weekend. Hope you have some great plans, but we have a wild card there. Smoke coming into our area, affecting our air quality. Your First Alert weather forecast is coming right up.
Plus, a custodian in Nevada wins $15,000 in a nationwide contest to show us why custodians are key.
Live with Kelly and Mark today at 9 on Cap KView.
You just turned this thing into a competition.
Idol's grand finale is live with a star-studded lineup of performances. Iam, Megan, Colin. We crowned your next American Idol. Grand finale live Sunday on ABC.
Mix up your breakfast and lunch routine. Stop by Some Bagels and Gelato, where fresh is the name of the game. Bagels by themselves or in a variety of tasty sandwiches. Fresh roasted coffee to make your latte a step above. And save some room for gelato. Find it waiting for you at Some Bagels and Gelato.
The savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book, out now and posted on bimart.com. Our 16-page book has store-wide savings in every department. Find what you need for spring home projects, inside and out, for less. Plus, find more membership savings in sporting goods, pantry essentials, and more. Save now with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your employee-owned membership store.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, West Richland, and Hermiston. Every location is conveniently located, and now Smoke City for Less Hermiston has relocated to North 1st Street by AutoZone. An easy turnoff, $3.95, and you are there. For the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, Kratom, and specialty products too. Open 7 days a week, 5 locations, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, West Richland, and the new location in Hermiston, off $3.95. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
It's a showcase event at Broadmoor RV Superstore in Pasco. Join us May 19th through the 21st for the Spring Showcase featuring Forest River. The first 50 people each day will be entered for a chance to win special giveaways. How about a sale on 169 RSK MSRP $40,000 plus, now just $24,990. Save over $18,000 on a 23 Vibe, now just $37,990. Don't miss the Spring Showcase only at Broadmoor RV Superstore in Pasco.
Make camping fun.
Next live, The Little Mermaid's Daveed Diggs. She got legs. And Sunday, don't miss the American Idol Grand Finale.
Today at 9 on Cap KView. Saturday, join Cap KView and the Tri-City Dust Devils for a night of baseball and awesome fireworks. It's the best show in town as the Vancouver Canadians play your Dust Devils, followed by fireworks. Game time 6:30 Saturday at Giesa Stadium. See you at the game.
Welcome back. The winner of the Custodians Are Key prize has been announced.
Mr. Fabian is our grand prize winner.
Fabian Emery beat out 1,400 school custodians across the U.S. and Canada to win the Tennant Company's prize.
The award, a cool $5,000 for Emery and $10,000 for his employer, Keith and Karen Hayes Elementary School in Las Vegas. Emery was selected for going above and beyond the, well, cleaning call of duty.
He is known for coaching and mentoring students, and Emery says he loves everyone at the school.
I feel like a lot of custodians really don't get a lot of the attention and awareness that we do. We do a lot. Everybody's been great to me. They've been super respectful. They all care about me, how I feel, how I'm doing throughout the day. The kids are amazing here. I love the staff here. Everybody loves me. I love them.
I love that. And I actually remember a custodian at one of the schools that I went to was an Elvis impersonator.
Oh, well.
So it's amazing that the impact that some custodians can have.
I very much remember Arcadio, our custodian back at my college dorm. He was a very interesting gentleman, so it was always good to talk to him. So anyways, it's always good when people behind the scenes are given their due, because sometimes they're kind of left out.
And they do so much.
They do. All right, folks, let's take a look outside. I'm going to have your first alert weather forecast. That is coming up next. We're going to track your conditions for your weekend coming up.
And before you think about jumping into the river to beat the heat, Riley Fitzgerald tells us a few things you should keep an eye on before diving in. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
At Vapiano, we invite you to slow down, enjoy the journey. Make a reservation today. Taste wine where it's created. Sample a variety of wines from Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and make it a day to remember. Vapiano Estates, Walla Walla.
I just turned 37 and I found a lump. By the time that I had it checked out and was able to get in and see a doctor and all that, I was at stage 3. Part of the reason I think that I didn't go get it checked out right away is that I was really scared. When I got the call, it was gone. It was such a huge relief. Even if you don't feel that it's in you, that you have a lump or you have a reason to get checked, you are a woman, get checked.
Build your deck with PAR and get everyday low prices on Trex and TimberTech composite decking. But shop now and you'll get $100 off TimberTech, Trex, and AZEK railing and accessories with qualifying purchase. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
Come shop the largest selection of RVs in the Tri-Cities at Appleway RV. See
Big on Class A's, Class C's, travel trailers, toy haulers, and fifth wheels. Shop America's top brands, Rockwood, Tiffin, Newmar, Dynamax, and more. With a huge selection of pre-owned RVs. Plus, get maximum value for your trade. All with no payments for 90 days. Come shop the clearance event at Appleway RV Pasco.
Homeowners, Washington is moving to renewable power. Consider an investment in green energy. Rooftop solar with Solar Power Northwest, a true one-stop shop. Solar Power Northwest, a better way to solar.
It's not every day that you can experience award-winning limited production wines selected by industry notables, plus receive advanced news regarding upcoming releases and events. Delight in the convenience of having wines delivered to your door as a member of the Coyote Canyon Wine Club.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer. Real Steel. Find yours.
Join us at Sunset Gardens as we celebrate Memorial Day all weekend long. Sunday and Monday, tour the grounds and get free hot dogs at our event center from 11 to 2. Monday, May 29th, the celebration starts at 11 with speaker and veterans advocate Tiffany Smiley, skydivers, snow cones, music, and more. As always, we'll raise over 1,000 flags. Celebrate Memorial Day with the Tri-Cities premier funeral home and cemetery, Sunset Gardens.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. Now, Cap KVU First Alert weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. Yes, we have plenty of haze out there, but we have sunshine and heat to talk about, possibly record heat today and tomorrow. But their wild card is that smoke. It depends on, well, it is affecting our air quality, but it depends on how thick it gets. It could blunt our temperatures by a few degrees. That could affect those record highs, so we're keeping a close eye on that. And we do have that cool down coming on Sunday if you are, well, getting a little tired of the heat. So first off, let's take care of this air quality. We are in the moderate zone for most of our areas. Ellensburg right on the edge of good and moderate, and this came trucking in last night, and we do expect it to continue for today. Hopefully we see some winds shift from the southwest, especially as we get to Sunday, possibly getting some of this smoke out, but we're going to have to deal with that. So if you are dealing with air quality issues, please take all precautions you need. So this morning we're in the upper 50s to lower 60s, mostly very warm this morning, and we are looking at possibly record highs today. So what is forecast is breaking a record for the Tri-Cities, Yakima, Walla Walla, maybe Pendleton right there around it. Looks like Ellensburg will be a bit chillier than that, and record highs could be broken tomorrow, but it all depends on how much that sunshine or heat is blunted by the haze that is in our areas. As we get to tomorrow, a little bit warmer, then we see that cool down coming as we get to Sunday, and we do have much cooler conditions on the way next week. So a break from this heat as we get to Monday and pretty much all next week. Skywatch radar, we are free and clear from any precipitation right now, and we're looking to be free and clear mostly as we head into our weekend. So as we look at a little bit of shower activity in our afternoon for the Cascades, a little bit could break into the Ellensburg, Yakima area, and a little bit of shower activity kind of surrounding us, but if it does come through, it'll be very, very quick if it does. Best chance of sustained showers will be Saturday late into very early on Sunday as we look at some shower activity kind of rumbling through pretty quick though, and then we'll be looking at nicer conditions on our Sunday. It looks like a little bit of shower activity to the east of the Blue Mountain area. So as we look at our winds, we're seeing a little bit of winds coming in from the south, but other than that, we are looking light, and we expect to be light into tomorrow. But as we get into Sunday with that chance of showers, we're going to see winds from the southwest. This could be bringing out that smoke because we're seeing those winds coming in from the east. So hopefully the southwest winds will get rid of the haze or at least make our air quality a little bit better. Highs today, mid to lower 90s for most of our areas, though we are looking at 89 for Ellensburg. For the Mid-Columbia, mid to lower 90s. Warmest day of the week, and mid to lower 90s as well for the Blue Mountain region, maybe just lower 90s. So 7-day forecast as we get into the Yakima, mid 90s, then 84 by Sunday, and then much cooler in our next work week. Overnight lows all the way from 63 overnight tonight to 46 by overnight on Monday. But still, folks, despite that shower chance off and on into the weekend, we are looking at much nicer conditions as we head into our weekend and next work week. Tri-Cities area, plenty of sunshine on deck. Overnight lows 60s down to the 50s. But folks, we could be looking at that record highs today and tomorrow for Yakima, Tri-Cities, Walla Walla areas, but do have the possibility of that air quality and haze becoming a little bit worse. It could blunt our temperatures a bit as we head into our weekend, cooling down on Sunday.
Well, as Jason just mentioned, we are seeing those very hot temperatures outside. And while you might be considering getting out on the water this weekend, there are some warnings before you step into a river. KapKV's Riley Fitzgerald joins us live from Richland, where she appears to be contemplating hitting the waves herself. Riley, for people who are looking to take a dive, what should they know about the waterways?
Well, fantastic morning out here on the Columbia River today. And as this haze starts to go away, it's going to be even more beautiful. And you might be considering taking a dip in the water, but you might want to reconsider. Take a look at this. If we take a look right on the Columbia River right now, how high the water is. Typically at Howard Amon Park, there's a little sandbar before you get to the water. That is absolutely nowhere to be seen right now. According to Jack Derderian with Benton County Fire District 2, mountain snow is melting, which means the rivers are getting higher and it's also flowing a lot faster than normal.
You see the water flow behind me. You can see right now the water is flowing at about 7,000 to 10,000 cubic feet per second. Normally this time of year it's around 6,000 to 7,000, so we are flowing quite fast. You can also notice how high the river is right now.
That interview was right over the Yakima River, which was a bit quicker than we're seeing here at the Columbia. Officials are saying the Yakima River is a bit more dangerous right now because of the debris, the height, and the speed of the water. This weekend is the start of National Boating Safety Week, which means whether you're on the water, in the water, wear a life jacket, stay safe, and have a great weekend. Live in Richland, I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Riley. We'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast. But first, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
Is there anything you'd say to the driver?
It was an unthinkable tragedy on their wedding night 3 weeks ago. An allegedly drunk driver crashing into them as they left their reception. And this morning, for the first time since losing his wife Sam, the groom, Eric Hutchinson, is telling his story to GMA.
She was so happy. I mean, planning the wedding is extremely stressful, and she just had a weird, calmness.
You guys were having a happy night.
Yeah, we were.
Through the wedding and the reception, one of the best nights of your life.
It was.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of this emotional interview, his powerful message, and how Eric Hutchinson wants the world to remember his bride. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
Ultomiris is for adults with generalized myasthenia gravis who are anti-acetylcholine receptor antibody positive. It is lasting control over your GMG symptoms, and Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with 8 weeks of freedom between infusions. Ultomiris can lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious, life-threatening meningococcal and other types of infections. If not vaccinated, you must receive meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before starting Ultomiris. And if Ultomiris is urgent, you should also receive 2 weeks of antibiotics with your vaccines. Before starting Ultomiris, tell your doctor about all of your medical conditions and medications. Ultomiris can cause reactions such as back pain, tiredness, dizziness, limb discomfort, or bad taste. Ultomiris is here. Ask your doctor about managing your generalized myasthenia gravis with Ultomiris.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:54. We're going to get to Jason's local forecast in a moment, but first a look at this morning's top stories. Police in Nampa, Idaho say 2-year-old Rudy Reyes was taken by his father, Rodolfo Reyes, who does not have custody, just before 11 yesterday morning. They may be in a gray Honda Civic with Idaho license plate 019Y0R. Investigators say they may be headed towards Pendleton. If you have any information, call 911 right away. You can also call the Nampa Police Department. We have the information on our website, yaktrinews.com. 6 Kennewick massage parlors shut down after a police investigation, some of them accused of sex trafficking. Mirror Ministries here in the Tri-Cities has helped the victims found at these businesses. They went to these massage parlors to offer help to the victims. Tricia McFarland with the organization says what's concerning is these places were open and operational, meaning people were actively taking advantage of the trafficked victims. There have been 2 separate school shooting threats to Selah Middle School this week. Police identified 2 students they believe were responsible for Monday's threat against the middle school and are working to build a case against them. They say the second threat involved a picture of an airsoft gun that looked real and was also reported through the school's reporting app, Stop It. Police have determined neither were credible threats, and the students involved are potentially facing charges. A motorcyclist who was hurt in a crash in Richland Wednesday did not have a license to drive a motorcycle and was at fault for the crash, according to authorities. Richland police say the motorcyclist was going eastbound on Keene Road at a high rate of speed and tried to pass vehicles that were stopped at West Cliff Boulevard using the bicycle lane. Police say a motorist attempted to turn left, was then hit by the motorcyclist who ran the red light. The condition of the motorcyclist is not yet known. 5 Yakima artists are preparing to speak at the Artists of Color Expo and Symposium in Seattle this weekend. They'll be speaking on the topic of how they became Latina artists in rural Washington. The artists say they've faced unequal treatment and want to find a way to help other artists of color succeed.
I think that's a really big characteristic about the Latina community, because if we see someone succeed in our community, we're succeeding.
The artists presented a preview of their presentation at Collaboration Coffee in Yakima last week, and they present in Seattle Saturday, May 20th.
Welcome to the weekend, everyone. We have haze, we have sunshine, and we have heat to talk about today. So air quality, we've entered for most of our areas the moderate air quality. We do have winds coming in from the east, so that's bringing it in for the next 2 days. Hopefully winds from the southwest on Sunday will start to move this smoke out. If you have air quality issues, do take precautions. Right now, we're in the mid to lower 60s for most of our areas, 56 for Ellensburg. A very warm morning. We could see record highs today, especially for the Tri-Cities, Yakima, Walla Walla, and maybe Pendleton areas. So the records are on the right, and the forecast temperatures, which are mostly above it, are on the left. So get ready for a warm day. But folks, we could see the smoke coming in blunt our temperatures just a little bit, maybe enough to not get those record highs. We are looking at mostly clear skies right now, but do expect the haze to at least be sticking with us through tomorrow. Make sure to use your sunscreen this weekend. Jill.
Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Northwest. Cap KVUE Local News is back tonight at 5.